Bert! Get him! Yeah! Ron Babe was right.
I'm feeling spry. Hey, everybody. You know what show it is, and you know who this is, and you know who the title sponsor of it is, if I dare say, which, of course, is Onyx Hunt. And you know you could get 20% off the Elite with HDP 20, but I'll tell you what, pay attention. They're running some really good specials. Not that I don't want you to use my code. They track that. I get it, but they'll forgive me for saying it. They've got some really good Black Friday stuff coming up here, so just pay attention. If you get the email, if your subscription's almost up or just about ready to lapse, jump on it. Now, I prefer you use HTTP 20, but go ahead. If they put something out there in an email to you, make your next season just like this one with Onyx. I just used it on my way down to Kentucky. No, I didn't need it to get to Kentucky. I took I-65. Duh. Okay. But when I got off the road, that is now my navigation system. I want to see everything. I didn't need the LiDAR, of course, but I'm just saying, I use it all the time. I use my Gunner Kennels all the time. Vivi went down with me, and she rode into Small. Now, I put her in the back seat, not because of what happened to Tagus, but the Small fits in the back seat of my Ram pickup truck. No, that's not a commercial for Ram. It just happens to be what I drive. And I got home, or before I left, I got a new Gunner accoutrement. I don't know if you saw this, if you got the email from it yet. Gunner Kennels just came out with their dog vest. Not a game vest for us. There's enough companies, God knows, that's making game vests. But Gunner Kennels, they worked on this. Well, Addison's going to come on the podcast, I think, this week. We tried to organize it for the weekend. It just didn't happen. I put that vest on Tagus, and it's so adjustable. It's got adjustable shoulder straps, adjustable side connections. I'm telling you what. Anybody see that German Shorthair that went off the cliff in California? The firefighter girl, she went off the cliff. She rappelled down and hooked up. If that dog was wearing the Gunner vest, you could have just dropped like a 80-pound test line with a treble hook, grabbed it by the handle. They could have cranked that dog up like a tuna. Anyway, it is. I've never seen anything like it. It almost looks like it belongs on a police dog. You know what I mean? It's got that grrr, and it's not just neoprene that just gets wet and stays wet. They put some research into this. Anyway, you'll hear all about that on the next podcast. So enough of that. W Supply is where you go to get anything that Garmin sells. Now, I'm talking to Dog World. I know they sell things for helicopters and planes and boats and side radar for ice fishermen. And no, I don't get any of that stuff. But when it comes to the 550 Plus, the 300i, any of the Garmin collars for tracking and training, you go to W Supply, and that is why. I kind of tied that one right in with a rhyme, didn't I? K9 Athlete is, something I've been using. I don't know if I told you guys this or girls this or either of you, either of the two of you that are listening to this show. Itty got kind of impaled on, I think it was a fence post, but I'm not sure, in South Dakota, and tore a pretty good hole in her armpit, her rear armpit, if you will. And, got stitched up and antibiotics and everything, and wasn't doing too good. And, she had to go on a longer regimen of antibiotics than I'd like, and I started giving her K9 Pro just because, antibiotics kind of mess up our system and dog systems. Yeah, they can live through it, but K9 Pro was in every dish of food she had. I'm not saying she was – could I tell the difference? No. Could she tell the difference? Yeah, she felt better. She did. So look at all the K9 Athlete products and, of course, Wilderness Athlete products for you and me and your brother and your sister and your mother and your aunt and your uncle. you can't get better stuff for. I'm drinking one right now. Mossberg shotgun. I shot my SA-20, and I also brought a very old 12 gauge or 20 gauge I had down there. But the SA-20 is becoming my new favorite 20 gauge. And I'll be honest with you, it is a little fun to have 3 shells once in a while. It really, really is. Rarely do I need it, because if I miss twice, I'm probably going to miss thrice. But every once in a while, extra bird comes up, something you didn't expect, whether it's a popcorn sharp tail or a duck that came out of the ditch and you already fired off at a pheasant, like it happened to me in South Dakota. That SA-20, it feels, the reason I love it so much is it feels like my old 1100. It ain't heavy, though. It's my brother. See, that's a old, I think, Beatles song. Anyway, forgive me. I'm just in one of those moods. And, of course, I was shooting Boss shot shells in Kentucky and in South Dakota and in North Dakota, and I'm shooting a new copper. And I was a little, I got it now, full transparency. For quail, I had some Boss Legacy still left because they're kind enough to give it to me to shoot and to hand out to people. So I had some 7-shot, not too much for quail. Could have used 8 probably, but I like 7. It seems to work good. So I did have some Legacy. But the new copper, in fact, Legacy is nothing more now than a legacy. It's gone. The only people you can get Legacy from are people like me who still have half cases of it around. Boss has got copper ammo. You heard about that episode last week, what it took to make it. It was monumental, and it's the same performance. It's the same Boss shot shells that you've been shooting for 5 years, 6 years. Purina Pro Plan, I need say nothing, right? I need say nothing about Purina. It's like Purina. It's what do you feed your dog? Purina. What do you feed your dog? Purina. What do you feed your dog? Oh, not that. But it's the one word. It's like it needs no definition. And I got a new load of it coming in. The semi will be here, I think, Tuesday. And the dogs know when that comes in because they get a little extra. Because right now I'm kind of running low on it. You don't care about that, do you? I feel like, no, forget it. Anyway, Marshwear is all I wore. It's about all I do wear. I'm wearing the Buxton pants. I'm wearing their, they have this, I don't know what to call it. I should have had the name of it. Look at their flannels. They got these front snap flannels, and it feels like soft cotton, but it's stretchy. You'll figure it out. Go to Marshwear. Listeners can also get 15% off with HDP15. But patrons, which I haven't talked about, which you all know who you are, patrons get a really, really nice discount. I mean, they get a bigger discount on what? Come on, Ron. Where is it? On Canine Athlete. You all can get 25% off your first order, but patrons can get a little bit more. It pays to be a patron. I should get some T-shirts made up for that. It pays to be a patron. Anyway, I brought my Arxis boots down to Kentucky, and the reason I did is they were calling for rain, and even when it wasn't raining, the grass was wet from the last rain. That place is as wet as Seattle, Washington lately, and I am so glad I have my Arxis USA boots on. And Jack Butler will be coming to Pheasant Fest. We'll have our booth set up. Jack will be right next door to me, like sitting on the left hand of Ron, whatever that means in the way the booths are set up. So if you haven't seen them yet and you're going to go to Pheasant Fest, you'll be able to see the Arxis boot lineup there. Did I get everybody? I did it. I got patrons. I got Arxis, Marshwear, Purina, Boss, Mossberg, Canine Athlete, Garmin, W, Gunner Kennels, Onyx, American Field. I haven't mentioned American Field. Shame on me. I just got my new magazine. That's why it dawned on me. I gotta bring that out from the house out to the kennel so I don't forget. And you can get 20 or 30% off depending if you get a year or 2 years off using the promo code Hunting Dog Podcasts. I should have told you. I should tell you that every week. Sometimes I forget. But you're going to hear me talk about Backcountry Preserve. Okay, that is where I was. Just got back, and I went down to meet Kenton, and what an experience. Well, you're going to hear all about it on the episode, but you'll hear about it. They wanted to do a little advertising on the podcast for a few months, and it's a pretty new venture. It's only been open a couple years. And this is not like any shoot and preserve you've ever been to. Trust me, because I've been to a lot of them. I've had a lot of fun at a lot of them. But this one's laid out different. This one's made out different. This one is different. So if you want to get that one more trip in and not try to go out to Shababa, like 18-hour drive, and you live on as we call it, our side of the Mississippi, you're going to want to check out Backcountry Preserve. Definitely want to check that out. Anyway, this podcast was with Kenton, myself, his kennel master, kind of tongue-in-cheek, young kid that works for him, named Hunter. He comes in a little bit. And what's kind of different, I didn't know this. It's kind of weird. I'm not a music person. Like, I don't own a CD, even when everybody owns CDs and records and LPs. I wasn't that guy. I listened to it, whatever was on the radio. Later on, XM radio. Now I got Spotify, so I can have a playlist. And Kenton, who's the owner of Backcountry Preserve, he's got his own Spotify playlist. I've got him on my phone now. I had no idea when I went down there. He said something, and I go, what do you mean you recorded a song? And yeah. So if you want to know more, he'll talk about it at the end of the thing. Anyway, enjoy the episode. Enjoy your week. Enjoy Thanksgiving. I love you guys. I love you girls. And I definitely love patrons more. Just a smidgen more. But, you can call me anytime, except in the middle of the night. You can write me anytime. I'll read it in the morning. Patrons can get a little bit more out of everything. Oh, I'd be remiss to say that on my way back, the timing was perfect. I picked up a Mark V barrel of beer from Watermark, and I had my options. There was a couple I could have tried the German style red lager. It's called Little Fox, and they gave me a sample glass of that, and I'm telling you what, I was tempted, but it's a little more ABV than this 68-year-old liver should drink, at least because of the way I do drink. But it's good. I mean, if you're down in Southwest Michigan, you've got to pull into you go into John Beers Road off of 94. In fact, you know what I would do? I just put that on your navigator, because anything north of that, it's a traffic jam. You should have seen me getting out of there. But I came home with another barrel of Mark V. Now, Bodega, my original, it's great. Mark V, I think it's just a little sweeter. The Tribute German wheat, again, 4.8. Okay, I can handle beers into 4s. Mark V is a 4.8. Bodega is a 4.5. I wanted to take home a barrel of that little Fox, but I didn't do it. Just that's for sitting and sipping. Anyway, I love you guys. I love you girls, and I love you more if you stopped at Watermark Brewery for the holidays. They decorate it. They've got the best outside yard, the best inside yard, the best. They got more. Go to Watermark's website. You see all the stuff they have there. All right. Is that enough? I think that's enough. How long is this one? Oh, my God. I'm back at it, aren't I? 13 minutes and 8 seconds of blah, 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 blah. Love you guys. Love you girls. Bye.
Oh, just get Mama Chunk to take one. Yeah. Yeah, get her some just to put in there, and I'll take the rest of it, because Rachel ate it.
Right. We're recording. Just let you know.
Don't give a shit.
But that's what makes podcasts, like, what I love about podcasts is I'm not doing an NPR show. I'm not doing an interview. I'm with friends all the time. And sometimes there's a little sidebar conversation.
There's a sidebar about this amazing limoncello cake that Luke just made for us.
I'm doing this backwards. I'm not going to intro anybody. I'm just telling you, I ate enough for 2 days. And what was that? A limoncello? Is it a bun cake?
Lemon cream cheese pound cake.
Lemon cream cheese pound cake. Somebody should kidnap your family and put this in production, because
it's a real deal.
And I can pass on dessert every day of the week.
Yeah.
I could just no, I'm not eating dessert. Yeah, that's
a different one.
That's not a pay. You can't pass on
You
that.
ain't passing on the lemon cream cheese pound cake. And first time he made it for us, we were all like, yeah, that's every time somebody comes to hunt, lemon cream cheese pound cake.
That's all
the
you need.
signature
We didn't
dish.
have to do the steaks and the potatoes. We
Yeah.
didn't have to. Anyway, hey, if you're wondering what the hell I'm talking about, I'm in Kentucky, close to Glasgow, right?
Glasgow. Yeah.
Glasgow.
Glasgow.
I'm gonna have to work on my southern accent.
You got to practice.
I'm with Kenton Bryant.
Yes.
Now, not Bryant with an N, Bryant with a T.
Yeah, Bryant with a T.
And one of his, what did you call him? Is he your official kennel help here?
Yeah, it's Kennel Master. is what
Kennel
I'm gonna say.
master, Hunter. Hunter, what's your last name?
Sexton.
Sexton. How old are you?
17.
Did you get into my beer out in the truck or anything? Or you?
No.
No. Did you need a cigar or anything before we get started?
No.
Do you have any bad habits besides hanging out with Kenton?
No, he's the only one.
Your mom and dad's okay with you being the kennel master here?
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, I'm at Backcountry Shooting Preserve in Glasgow, Kentucky. Ben Bernigan from Onyx reached out to me, connected Kenton and I, and I don't think I did do this once years ago with a place in New York, and I said to Kenton, he said I want to do some advertising. I've used shooting preserves my entire. I grew up in Illinois where the state released birds, so I've always been a fan of like, hey, if you can't go somewhere, you got a limited time. Anyway, Kenton got a hold of me, and we started talking about what he was putting up. And I've been to a lot of shooting preserves. I've taken customers to it. Always took my daughters to it during Christmas so they could get a shot at a bird and we could make a little recipe at home. And I love the whole idea of it. But down south is, I hate to say it, there is a division between the Mason-Dixon line, right?
Very much so.
And down here is quail country.
Yeah.
And up north is kind of pheasant country. Now you probably could get some pheasants and what have you.
We
but
do a lot, yeah.
You want to do what you built here. I'm really kind of I'm too full from eating that damn lemon cheesecake jello. I want to describe what you built here, and I don't know exactly how to describe it, but I know you had a vision when you started doing this.
Yes. And really it boiled down to, so when I started Backcountry Shooting Preserve, we took the whole farm. It's about 245 acres, give or take a little bit. And I said, field trials are what we do. That's
Right.
my passion. It's been, a source of our income for a while. And I said, we're going to put it all in CRP and really go all in on being able to develop top shelf dogs in the country. That's what I want to do.
Right. So you had to make the habitat look like
exactly
where you go to North Dakota.
Go to North
or
Dakota and all
wherever.
CRP.
Yeah.
And for those, excuse my voice, I'm not always sound like I've smoked 12 packs of Marlboro
He's going to
Reds.
get back on filters tomorrow.
Yeah. I did a little too much yelling this past weekend at a field trial. But so we transferred everything over to CRP. And really for our wild birds, which, we're very fortunate to have multiple coveys of wild birds here. And then, so we can work our field trial dogs. And I had a friend of mine go, wait, so you're telling me you're doing all this work, blocking it out, putting the food plots in, doing all the CRP, everything.
Trying to keep a couple wild coveys around.
Yeah, trying to keep,
Or two or whatever.
keep a handful. I mean, I think we're up to 6 last time we saw. But doing all this just for yourself. I said, yes, 100%. And he goes, would you take us hunting? And I said, you know what? We'll do it. We do a big summer pre-release program you saw today. And, we release tons and tons and tons of birds to work on, to break dogs, develop
Work
dogs.
your dogs on, yeah.
And they went out and had a blast. And I was like, well, maybe I think we need to look into this. And I've been so blessed and so fortunate to have spent time in Georgia and Alabama where plantations are very, very good at hunts. And,
Right.
It's whether the pre-release or whether the wild bird hunts, pre-releases and summer release birds that make it through the summer and go through the fall. And had been fortunate to go on some of those mule-drawn carriage ride hunts that are, like I told you earlier, enough money to buy a truck.
When you told me some of the prices of those, I was like, that's not possible. It sounds
That's
like you're doing
crazy.
a trophy mule deer hunt.
But that's the same price.
Right.
And,
Right.
that's not what I wanted to bring, but I loved everything about those hunts in principle and the way they were put on, because I felt like it was classy, it was fun, people enjoyed
Old
themselves,
school.
old school, and
Yeah.
it was just a everything was built around the dogs being top notch, the cockers being fantastic. The production is everything you would ever want if you're going to go spend some money, take some clients out or whatever, take your dad out, have a great meal. We're so blessed to have Chef Lucas here and cooking for us. And we have the lodge here, the Farmhouse Lodge, which is tucked in. I wanted people to be able to do what we did today, which is sit on the front porch and hang out and talk while the quail are whistling while the sun goes down. I mean, that to me is what I wanted to build this place in. And the hunt itself, I wanted it not to be, 10 or 15 acres. You go out, chase the 10 bird package. Ron, how many coveys do we see today?
Oh, I don't know, dozen,
13 to 15 coveys.
And all over this property is like a mile long, right?
Yeah, we calculated up as a mile and a quarter. So
mile and a quarter.
You're going up, walking, and you can go, which we didn't even cover half of it today, and we were going through a little over 3 hours.
Right.
It's a mile and a quarter each way. I mean, it's just a big monster block of CRP that we block out. I mean, for guys like you that have a bum knee, you can get around.
To people who've been listening and following the podcast, which is everybody who's listening, everybody knows I'm getting a knee replacement in January. And I told Kenton, I said, I don't think I can walk for 3 or 4 hours because you don't have to. I got a side-by-side you can ride in. Yeah. So in all transparency, I rode most of the day until you took me rabbit hunting this afternoon, you bastard.
Yeah. We
then I had to walk.
So we do a lot of different versions of it. I mean, some days we walk and have the dogs, and some clients like yourself say, hey, I don't want to walk the whole thing.
Right. Or I can't, maybe.
But you can't. And, we got the dog wagon with, kennels, the whole thing. The cockers ride that.
Yep.
And we really enjoy that. There's some days people are like, hey, I want to see the horses. We'll bring the horses out and handle everything off horseback and riding the side-by-side. Or I get a lot of guys that go, hey, man, I want to make it feel like old school bird hunting. We're just going to walk, hold our shotguns, talk, and when the dog goes on point, we'll do it.
Yeah.
And, my thing is my number one goal was how can I make this feel like it did 20 years ago when I was a kid.
Right.
And hunted these same grounds. I mean, I told you this is a family farm. So everything as a wild bird hunter, I am a wild bird hunter. I spend, I told you, I spend at least 2 or 3 weeks every year at summer camp in North Dakota. I've spent up to 2.5, 3 months in North Dakota, traveled everywhere to hunt wild birds. I have zero interest in making my adventure and what the product I'm offering people anything less than what feels like a real, authentic bird hunt, because it is, in all intents and purposes. That's what I want it to be.
It's unpredictable.
That's unpredictable. It's
that's
wild,
what I found when I looked out here in the morning. I got in last night, and first thing I saw as I came in the driveway, I was like, I mean, he's got some 4.5 foot tall, 5 foot tall CRP grass. I'm like, I ain't walking through that shit. But no, you have pass mode and everything.
Yeah, it's blocked out.
That's fine. You can walk through it. And as the winter progresses and knocks it down, it's probably much more narrow. And it looked wild and woolly. And then that sun came up this morning before you came, and I was like, what is this wild and woolly? And I remember the first time, what's your setter's name?
Rip.
See, I forget about Rip, and all I remember is
the cockers.
Cockers.
We got a horseback champion, one of the top.
We like the cockers.
Yeah, the cockers.
We got Bubba and Tank, and Bubba's sitting on the couch. And anyway, I remember the first time Rip went on point, and I've only been to one facility like this. It was Bray's Island, where like the dog work, while the cockers are doing their work after the shot, that pointing dog is just still standing there, just like he did when he found the birds, which is not easy to accomplish.
No, it's not, and
that's probably from the field trial training.
Yes,
and you couldn't do that without having this place in a sense.
No, and it's again, my whole goal is developing field trial dogs.
Yeah, you did this, like you said, selfishly to develop your dogs, but you're like, you can kind of share it with people. And
I love sharing and I don't mean this pompous, I love sharing what the best of the best can look like. Because the dog you ran today, he's one of the top amateur shooting dogs in the country. I mean, he's a champion. He's a horseback field trial champion. And it's funny because we'll probably go into this, but so many people, I've heard it a million times. Well, you can't hunt a field trial dog. Ron, how many times did we hunt a field trial dog today?
Yeah, plenty.
And, broke is a convict.
I tell you what, 10, 12 years ago, I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
Until I met people who said, you take that dog out, and it's like the dog keys off the horse, right?
It keys off the horse.
And it was like, oh, it's time to run big. He ran very manageable.
I mean,
short.
Like, he was. Did he
Yeah,
go
it
over
would be
60
short,
yards?
short, but it would be what I would want in a foot hunting dog.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And just the handle. You know, that's the thing I always tell people about field trial dogs is you got to be able to put that handle on a dog. And
we call it steering wheel and a blinker. You got to.
They got a gas pedal. Those field trial dogs, everybody, they talk about the gas pedal, the engine, the motor. But the real thing about a champion field trial dog is between their ears, and it's being able to steer that dog.
He's got to have intelligence. And he's got to know what game he's playing that day.
Yes. He shot shotguns.
Right.
We killed, we shot over birds. We pointed wild birds. We pointed pre-release birds. We pointed birds that I'm like, Ron, I don't know where they are.
And I remember the first time Rip pointed, all I could think of was like, I've never met you before. I'm down at your place. If I miss, he's going to call Ben up. But luckily, my shooting was about 50% until the end. It kind of dropped off. Anyway, Hunter, what do you do here?
Kind of a little bit of everything. I mean, whatever kids dealt me to do, honestly.
We don't get this with young men up in Michigan. You can't get somebody to come. You're in high school.
Yeah. Well, I actually do with the co-op, so I get to be released out of school a little bit earlier. So
You
that's
get
nice.
to do this and get a grade credit?
Yeah.
That's not fair.
Yeah, it's really nice. But he said earlier, or I don't know, but I'm the kennel master. I kind of like take care of them, just kind of whatever. And then I've been able to this year. I've actually started being able to go out on the hunts and been going on horseback for the first time actually, and kind of help work with him.
You're ruining him, Kenton.
You
know what you're doing.
He's
you're ruining this poor kid.
the kid. It's funny.
By the way, you're 17.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's 17.
So I love getting people into it. I love teaching people,
Yeah.
and I'll teach anybody anything. Just got to keep up,
Yeah.
And we've done everything from whelping puppies. I told you to, going out and saying, hey, we're doing some spot spraying. We're doing some.
He'll probably be helping you burn this spring.
He'll help burn this spring. I said he knows how to vet puppies. I mean, these are things that they're not hard, but you got to pay attention.
Someone's got to show you, but you also got a little desire.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to have. If you try to make like your nephew that moved in from wherever, you try to get him interested in it, you'd be like, oh my God, I'm pushing a rock uphill. You're not. You're like rolling down the hill, like gaining speed.
Oh yeah, I completely love working here. I just love being outside in general. And I just kind of want to go in this later, so it's boosting me ahead of everybody else, and I'm just being really happy with the job in general.
When we were driving around on that rabbit hunt today, I said, you do any wrestling or sports? He goes, no, I just kind of like to hunt and fish and be outside. I'm like, there's a hope. There's
It's
hope.
great, and he's done a very good job, and
Can he swing a shotgun yet?
he shot a rabbit out here.
Yeah.
Killed his first rabbit.
Was it standing still?
Yeah, it was.
Might have been standing. Okay, come on. Like I don't want to think that. Like no. Like, you can't be that good yet. You need to get a little teeny shooting trap range here somewhere, Kenton.
I know that's on the long list of things to get done.
I've been to so many places that have it, they never use it.
That's my thought. I'm like, or we could just go hunting. What sells?
They hardly ever use it. But like for you, you just need to get on a tailgate throw or something and get that. I come back down here, I'm putting my shotgun in your hands. Because I was going to do it to
pigeons.
I was going to do it to Trent today. Yeah. Trent came down to help you, and I was like, why don't I get my guns to these guys? Because at that point I was 50-50. I'm like, I don't want my average to drop off. That's Hall of Fame baseball. 50-50.
You shot pretty good, and what's funny is especially when those coveys are coming up, and you're just like, as a shooter and somebody that's quail hunted my whole life, they come to me like, oh shit, which one? You're trying to find one.
Well, and you got to be careful.
You gotta be careful, yes.
You're handling a dog, and that's probably a whole nother podcast about gun safety and everything. But
Yes.
But this place is open to the public now,
Yes.
and 2 years now since
2 years. Yes, our second
since
year.
you
yeah.
started it. There was an old building on this property, is the way you described it.
Yeah, it was a rental house, and we took it to the studs. I mean, we're sitting in it right now. and
Right.
It's our farmhouse lodge. It's set in the middle, and it sleeps four We got Chef Lucas that comes and cooks for you every meal. Sit on the
Laundry room,
front
bathroom,
porch.
shower, front room, television, like everything you need just for a nice weekend
Laid
or
back.
midweek.
Yes. We get a lot of our customers that want to get away, guys. And my thing has always been, we talked about this before, most of our clients are gentlemen or ladies or dads and sons or
Yeah.
they
I used
have
to take my twins out all the time at once a year.
Yeah.
Always went to a place
yeah.
because I don't have the time to go somewhere.
That's it.
And I want my dogs don't. I mean, dogs know the difference. They do the same great job for you wherever you're working them, and it gave my kids an opportunity, and it kind of imprinted them with like, oh, that's what Dad does when he's out west. Like you said, you go out west, but to get out west, you start here.
You start here, or you just may not have the time. I mean, I've got young children.
Yeah.
I'm very, very, very fortunate that I'm able to go spend as much time out west. But a lot of my clients are like, man, I run a business. I'm doing
Right.
this. I have the time, or I have the money, don't have the time.
Right.
They can come here. They can get 98.74% of the fun of going out west
Right.
without driving 14 hours,
Right.
sleeping in a motel bed that they're going to hate.
Yeah,
And-
that's always been a bonus. I've taken clients to places, and I'll be like full transparency. I only know of about 3 or 4 places, and I've been around the country, and I'm 68 years old, and I'd say I've only seen 3 or 4 places that were set up like this.
Oh, thanks, man.
The accommodations are accommodations. Obviously, this is remodeled. It's brand new. Like, I could come here if you had an old cot, I'd be okay because the birds and the grounds and but you kind of bumped it up a step.
Yes.
You wanted to make this as comfortable as the grounds are real, so to speak.
And it's, I'm like you. I've been so blessed to be able to see the big lodges, the little lodges,
Yeah,
the
you've hung around with
plantation
those people.
mansions. And, that's a thing. I understand that. But my whole thing is like, I'm a bird hunter. I'm a wild bird hunter at heart. I wanted somewhere that guys like us can congregate, feel comfortable,
Yeah.
not be like, oh my gosh, I'm super uptight or,
Right.
or the opposite of like this place
Yeah.
is a dump. But, it's super comfortable. It's, we love it here. We designed it for people to come watch the ball game, hang out on the front porch and listen to the quail whistle at night.
Yeah.
Or in the, the sun's going down.
Got a
and
fire pit outside.
fire pit and,
One thing and this is not true everywhere. One of my favorite places in Michigan, I can't let my dog out of the car because it's that close to a road. This is way off the road.
oh, we heard coyotes. I mean, like,
No, not even that. I mean, it's a long way from
Yeah.
if I had a dog that wasn't even listening, I'm not going to think about the road. Like, there's a lot of places, like, because of where they had to buy and where they had to build or where the house was, you got, like, and not that you should leave dogs off leash and just unattended, but it's really nice to pull up somewhere, drop the tailgate and say, okay, you guys got to go pee and poop or something. And they can run around here. They'd have to go basically a half a mile.
yes, to get in trouble.
And if that's your dog doing that, that's another problem. You need to sell the dog, get a different dog. I'm just saying, to me, that's a big comfort factor, where I can let my dog out and let him run around a little bit and sit on the porch with him. That makes a lot to me. I know other guys, some people probably come here without dogs, and you take care of all the dog work. What is it like if somebody wants to bring their dog?
We love it. I mean, my whole thing has always been, I want the best experience for the customer. And it may be, you get a lot of customers that go, hey man, I've got a versatile dog that
Yeah.
I want to hunt, but bring your cockers to help retrieve.
Yeah.
If we got some birds we can't find, we do that. I've got some customers say, hey, I've got a puppy I want to get into 2 or 3 coveys, but not blow their mind, which
Right.
it's a lot when dogs are getting into coveys versus
Right.
singles.
Yeah.
And seeing 13 to 15 or 18 coveys of birds in
Right.
an afternoon, it can sometimes, if dogs are used to getting a bird planted in a fence row,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
just blows their mind. So sometimes we'll say, hey, you got your dogs. All we're here to do is just guide you through the course.
Right.
And that's one thing, everybody says, well, what's the self-guided? Ron, you've been here. The course, you get lost. If you said, hey, you're going to go up here 3/4 of a mile, then hang a right at the hill and go down by the creek and up to the spring.
You need to be with them.
I have to be.
You have to be. There's so many trails and there's hollers, old tobacco barns at the bottom.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been able to get back here.
And it's all CRP, so it's blocked
It's all
CRP.
head high CIP. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
so-
a beautiful creek bottom. I love that creek.
Thanks, man. And that's a cool spot. Birds, naturally birds have always hung out there, wild birds, and
Yeah.
but we invite everybody and we tailor their experience. Some of our corporate clients, I think I told you that they want to show up, ride the side by side, hang out,
Step
talk,
out and shoot.
step out, show me where to stand.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to shoot, or better yet, they're going to go, hey, I've got these 3 or 4 clients. Make sure they have a great time. And
Right.
my whole thing is like, they're getting to see champion bird dogs, true champion horseback bird dogs in their prime with the cockers, do that thing. But also we might the next day have a guy come in with a puppy. He says, hey, let's just shoot some birds over for the puppy, and the puppy's not broke to wing and shot, and puppy's knocking
You'll
birds.
work with them.
Yeah, and we work with everybody, and we just tailor the event and the experience to whatever makes the customer go, wow, that was fun, and it felt like everything I'd ever wanted to bird hunt.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, I'm impressed.
Thank you so
I'm
much.
really impressed. Like I said, I've been to a lot of places, and you've met me for 2 nights now. First thing I do is I get here and I crack a beer, and I'm smoking a cigar. I'm always going to be me. I could go to a bad place, and I could have a good time, but I don't want to go to what I think is supposed to be a good place and go, oh.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Let that.
I'm telling people, like, if you came here, you're not going to be going, what's he talking about? Because you honestly, maybe my friend Jeff Peterman could get through here. If I took off to the east or the west here, if I didn't find the road, I'd be lost.
It's just
It does not feel like you're in any kind of, it's a managed area. It does not feel like you're in a managed area.
It's extremely managed, and that's the
But it don't feel like
it
that to
doesn't
me.
feel like
I'd get
on
lost.
purpose. And it's blocked out. I mean, I've got it gridded out. If you pull up on X, you look.
Yeah,
it's
you
like,
can see
it's
it.
perfectly gridded.
Yeah.
And it's. I told you, Ron. I went through a radiator, and it took me a week and a half to block it out at 2.5 miles an hour.
Right.
Which is
Because literally, if you didn't, you couldn't hunt
You
that till
couldn't
the
do it.
snow laid it down.
Oh,
I mean, this is classic 5 foot tall CRP.
and it's short variety. So it's and for people listening that might be native habitat hounds. We're mostly little blue stem. We have some side oats grama that's still hanging around.
Mm-hmm.
We have a little bit of switchgrass mixed in, and we've got partridge pea, black-eyed Susan, Illinois bundleflower, purple-headed coneflower, gray-headed coneflower, false sunflower, and
Come on, Hunter. What was it? What
what's
was
the
it?
last one? We got
What
one
was
more.
it? Come on, Hunter.
I have no idea.
I should know this. It's my place. I'm the one to put them in. But anyways, you see what I mean? So it's a polyculture that
Did
is
you
very,
work with an organization or the
Yes.
county, or who'd you work with?
So obviously you go through the FSA office, and I'm a big fan of the CRP program.
Yeah.
As a whole, I think it's fantastic. I think there's tons of resources
But
out
you're
there.
not in the CRP program.
Yes.
Oh, you are.
Yes,
Okay.
we are in the CRP program. And it was one of those deals where we they're dying to have people enroll.
Right.
And we worked with Roundstone Seed out of Middle Kentucky,
Mm-hmm.
so everything's native. I mean, these are seeds from our area,
Yeah.
which is amazing, and you learn things. Like Robert from Roundstone Seed is very well known in the native grass business.
Yeah.
And he taught me so much. He's worked for Tall Timbers, great organization.
Yeah.
And he's worked as in the CRP program, and we picked out varieties of little blue stem that were when things get beat down a little bit and they start going dormant. We're going dormant a little later this year, but
Yeah.
they're very manageable. You can see bird dogs. It's not 12-foot tall big blue stem
Right.
that lays over the first snow. Roundstone Seed, I can't say enough great things about them. They were just
Other than they told you had to buy a new tractor.
oh well, yeah. Because you got to. I mean, the thing about mowing CRP, man. I mean, it's got to be managed. If you don't manage your CRP,
Right.
I mean, Hunter knows we're out here all the time, looking, managing, seeing where our quail are, doing covey counts in the summer. I mean,
Yeah.
there was one day, Ron, that we came out and we had 15 bobs whistling from one point to the other.
Oh, that's got to sound pretty as hell.
And this is in June, so there are no pre-release birds. I mean, these are all wild birds.
Yeah.
And the coveys are there. I mean, Hunter and I rode, what was it, about a month and a half ago? we were up at the barn, just ride the side by side back, and it's like, and it's like 20 birds just come out. But I love that. Aside from the commercial aspect of what we do, is you can't have a wild bird place.
No, it's unsustainable.
It's
to let
unsustainable.
You can't shoot up the wild coveys.
But
but you will run into them.
But you'll run into them.
You'll run into them.
My whole goal is to be able to go take somebody that may have never seen a wild covey and go,
Right.
there's a pretty high chance we're going to see a wild covey of
Right.
birds. No preserve. I mean, no, I'm not going to say no preserve, but very few preserves offer that opportunity to
Right.
see what habitat does.
At the end of the day, most preserves, whatever birds they put out are shot. Couple live. Hawks get them at night. Owls get them at night. It's basically barren ground the next day. We were walking all over this place or driving also. And, we went out rabbit hunting. Now, where else do you go rabbit hunting?
Yeah, that's a
That
little.
was a bonus. That's not for everybody.
Yeah.
I went rabbit hunting today.
Yeah.
I got to hear the beagles speak. But, yeah, they got down into a thicket by that creek, and all of a sudden,
They're everywhere, man.
yeah.
And it's just awesome for me to see the wild birds do so good and being able to showcase what
It's
great
what they've always
habitat
needed.
management.
They lost it.
Yeah, they lost it, and it's just that is the real consolation prize of the whole thing is just being able to show it off and say, hey, man, this is what I'm passionate about. But there's been this thing with our wild bird organizations and people that are such. It's like you're either one or the other. But I think commercial operations like us can work together because in 2025 they have to.
Right.
We have to be able to say, all right, we're a commercial operation, but with a focus on wild birds and wild bird management and wild
Right.
bird habitat. And, I'm hoping in a couple of years, maybe you'll be one of the first people. But once we get a sustainable amount of birds where I feel like, okay, I can manage these birds, if there's 10, 15, 20 coveys on the place, offer 1 to 2 hunts a year of only wild birds and just say, hey, whether it's early in the season or late in the season, and whether we auction it off for charity or Quail Forever, and say, hey, we'd love to do probably the only wild bird hunt in Kentucky.
Right.
I don't know of any more. I'm not saying there's not on a commercial.
Yeah, we're not saying there's not any other
Yes,
wild
yeah,
birds,
I'm saying
but no
a commercial
operation.
place. Yeah, commercial operation that runs at the volume we do to be able to offer that. So that's a goal of mine is in the future being able to offer that. And it's a passion of mine, and I think habitat can be worked and wild birds can be a focus with also a place like this running a commercial operation.
Yeah. Hunter, what's your are you going to college or are you gonna get a bird dog? Like there's two choices in life now. You got one, you're a junior,
Senior.
you're a senior.
Yeah. So
You're down to like 2 semesters.
I just got my last semester left after this one finishes out. So
What's it gonna be?
definitely I'm going to college. So, but I'm trying to go into wildlife biology. So it's kind of really helping me out, just kind of working here.
Kind of seeing what things could look like, and
Yeah.
as opposed to going to college and not knowing what the word blue stem meant.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
When I first got here, I could go into it a little bit, but nowhere near as much as I've learned just working here.
Yeah. You have there's very few kids your age that have the ability to look somebody in the eye and participate, ask an adult questions. You're really lucky. You're really
He's
lucky.
a great
Ken.
kid. I mean,
And he's not a relative, right?
no, he's not. So a friend of mine, Andy Joe Moore, has been one of the agriculture teachers at a local high school.
Mm-hmm.
And I called Andy Joe. I said, hey, I'm needing help with a lot of stuff, whether it's just
Chores at the kennel.
cleaning kennels, feeding dogs. But
yeah.
and we kind of developed this thing of this co-op program. Said, hey, kids that are interested and that are responsible, because it's a lot of responsibility
it is.
now. Taking care of dogs, and you can't just skip a dog feeding, or cleaning a
And
kennel.
you can't leave a gate open. And you can't
leave-
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So we developed this program, and it's been great. Hunter's been the first one, and he'll hang around until he goes on and does big things, and then we keep doing it again. And,
Oh, that's cool. I was going to say it's hard. It's not to be contrite. It's hard to get good help is an understatement. And then a young person that wants to show up and who honestly does not look old enough to drive a horse and buggy, let alone a vehicle.
Yeah, I get that.
But that'll help you later in life. You won't look like an old haggard man like me.
That's what everybody says, at least.
Yeah, you'll like it later. Right now, you're going to be carded for cigarettes, tobacco for the next 15 years. I'm telling you. No bad habits yet, though?
No bad habits.
Bless your heart.
Yeah,
Well,
he's
that's actually kind of, that's like, it's not a
sad.
good Southern saying, is it?
No, you got to get a little
People from
trouble.
North think that's cute because they say, oh, bless your heart. And it's actually kind of like,
Yeah, a little backhanded.
yeah, it's like it's a backhanded compliment. Sorry about that.
No, you're all
No,
But
he's
bless your heart.
He's doing great, man. I mean, he's again, he's learned so much and been so willing to come to work and go, what are we doing today? You
Yeah.
know, even if it is mowing and weed eating that day, or if it's like he's gonna, how many thistle bushes, because you can pluck the flower off the thistles and they'll die.
Mm-hmm.
He set up, thistles coming up in the CRP, instead of going to spraying, we
Yep.
just pop the heads off of them. And he had buckets full of. I had him out with gloves on, picking the tops off
That was awful.
big monster thistles.
That was awful. Well, you'll be doing that when you go to whatever you pursue in college.
Yeah.
If it's going to be in biology or forestry, you'll have a few of those jobs, but at least you're getting them ready for it.
But I told him, I was like, being able to go in, especially having friends that are in the business, in the quail business, like some of those guys, if they're in college, they're fortunate to go spend 2 weeks at a place that highly manages for quail.
Right.
They're trying to write a thesis on a place they've spent
Yeah.
a little bit of time on.
Yeah.
And he's going to be so many steps ahead going in and going, hey, I know how to mix plateau. I know what glyphosate is if you're spot spraying. I know what a quail is. I know what a bob is. And it's
Might
just,
even know one end of a bird dog from the other.
he's
It's
whelped those
getting there.
puppies.
It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be remiss to not go into a little so when I got in here yesterday, I did not know you from Adam. We which is fine. I don't have a problem doing a podcast with a total stranger. We were talking on the phone when I was back in Michigan, and didn't really ask you. We just talked dogs. We just talked dogs. Who we know so many people in common, which we know is there's like almost 1 degree of separation in dog world. The longer we talk, like, oh, I know that guy. Oh, I know the guy that knows him. Yeah. But you did not. I mean, you've been hunting since you were a kid. You grew up here. But there was an interruption in your path from school to here.
Yes.
You did a little work in Nashville.
Yes. So, I mean, along with growing up here, I was very gifted and fortunate to have a career in music, specifically in Nashville in the country music world.
Yeah.
I was a professional songwriter and touring artist for years. I would say most of my young adult life. I started touring around 14, 15 years old, and that consumed me for my whole adult life. I was very fortunate to.
So your late teens, all through your 20s.
All through my 20s, yeah. I mean, I was on the road touring and playing, and I was fortunate enough to sign my first publishing deal at 25 years old in Nashville and started writing professionally. And I was a professional songwriter for Big Machine and Warner Brothers, and for years and years and years, wrote songs for Luke Combs and Randy Rogers Band, Kip Moore, and a bunch of others. And it's how I paid the bills and kept the lights on for a long time. And it was tons of fun. I was so blessed in it. And with young children, we just decided we'd, started having more of a yearning for being back home. And my wife and I decided to make the move. And I kind of shut down shop there. And it was an unbelievable ride. I think I told you I've written songs with all of my heroes. I've toured with
Been on stage with them.
Willie Nelson gave me. I mean, he sang to me at my birthday one night.
How many people can say that? Probably around Nashville, a few dozen, but not thousands.
I mean, it's I'll never forget. I mean, on my birthday, I think I turned 27 or 28, and I was touring with Willie, and they're like, "You want to sing with Willie tonight?" I was like, "Yes." So I went up on stage and we sang a bunch of gospel songs together, and he gave me his bandana for birthday. And,
no shit.
Yeah, it was super cool. And but toured with him, and Leonard Skinner did an arena tour with Leonard Skinner, and was just so blessed. And a bunch of headlining shows. I mean, we were selling out, 500, 800 seat venues, clubs, a lot. And it got to the point where with music is very much an all encompassing endeavor.
Yeah.
It asks for everything and has no promises for delivering anything.
Right.
And I was, but very blessed to go. It delivered and delivered. But I just got to the point with it where I said, I don't want to tour anymore. I've got young children. It asks everything. So that means your children, I'm not going to say they suffer because, the lights are on.
There's a bit of that for sure.
But, dad's gone. I couldn't tell you how many times
Right.
I would, if my daughter who's 10, she was the only child at the time, how many times I would give her a kiss on the cheek at 2:00 in the morning, have the babysitter show up at 3:00 in the morning and 2:30, 3:00. And I would go get in a van or a bus and leave and be gone for a week. And, that's what it demands all the time.
Right.
And I just started looking internally and going, okay, I've been so blessed. Is it time to take the chips at the table and go cash out?
Yeah.
And I did. And, I still write songs. I still am friends with all artists and all the right. I'm still connecting. I still do it. But I had to make the decision as a father and as a husband to go, the thing that demands everything is not everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And which was super great, man. I think that was something that nobody tells you, because when you move to Nashville and you want to make it, if you have a plan B, you're done. There was no plan B. I mean,
you just grind until you
grinded, slept in the truck, had shitty apartments where hookers were out the front door, and I'm not joking.
Right.
And just tried so hard and wrote. It was so hard to get to that
kind of
elite
makes
level.
steadying up a dog to broke seem easy.
It's easy compared to that. I mean,
that picture you just painted of trying to make it in Nashville, just made me go like, oh my God.
It's hard, man. And it's, again, having done it, it's
probably like the kids that used to move to LA thinking they're going to become a actor.
It's the 1% of 1%.
Yeah.
That end up with the deal. I mean, you think of thousands of people move to Nashville every day to write songs or do this. And, when I got my publishing deal at Big Machine, I think there were probably, and there's different levels, to get the big ones, Big Machine, Warner, Sony, Universal. I mean, they might, at that time, they might give out 40 a year.
Yeah.
To brand new writers that are just coming up.
Right.
And I got one of them at that time. And you think about it, like 40 out of, how many people were new writers?
I have no idea, but it's
hundreds of thousands of people. And that was just unbelievable. And it was just a dream ride that I went on for a long time and, checked out on my own terms. I mean, I walked into Warner Brothers one day and I was like, hey, hey, Ken, what's going on? Who are you writing with today? And I was like, I think I'm going to quit. What? I was like, I love it. I love doing it. I was like, I just got my other priorities. And, I think I want to move back to Kentucky, and I think I want to just spend more time on the farm. And we were blessed enough to be able to do that.
Right.
In a position, to do that.
Right.
And,
right. Because what you did here is an undertaking, is a monumental undertaking.
It's a monumental undertaking. Yeah. And
it would be monumental just to put it in corn once a year.
Yes.
But what you did is you put it into habitat.
I put it into not just a little habitat. Like people say, like, oh, I'm going to put something in CRP, and they put 10 acres. And
right.
And it's a lot to manage now. I mean, you still got to keep it mowed. Right. You still got to keep the filth out and the invasives.
And graded helps pollinators. It helps.
It helps. But
this is it's
an endeavor.
This is a big one.
It's an endeavor. Yeah. And, it's just, I call it my second mountain.
So music was your first?
Music was my first, man. I stole that from a book, by the way.
That's fine.
Yeah, there's a book for Second Mountain, but this is mine, man. It's my thing that I do after the thing that I did.
And you're not doing it after you retired at 60 either.
No.
You're doing it in the prime of your life.
I'm 35, and it's it was just a calling. It felt like something that I could share with people. And my songwriting mentor, a guy named Jonathan Singleton, best man at my wedding, one of probably my favorite people ever. Mm-hmm. The problem with writing songs, it's not a problem. It's just the way it is. But you write a song, and it may be the best song in the world. It may be something that makes you cry or something makes you go, oh, my God, this is amazing.
Somebody else hears it and like, oh.
But, at the end of the day, you just walk away with nothing in your hands. He said, Kenton, you have to find something that when you get done at the end of the day, you did something. Like, you can see the result.
Yeah.
And whether it's working the ground, working the CRP, working management, whether it's
Working dogs.
Working dogs, I can take puppies and go, if we're breaking dogs, take them out and they have 4 or 5 fines and they're just a little more broke than were yesterday.
Yeah.
You see it. You got your hands on it. You know, you could touch it. And I was at the point where I'd spent so much time not being able to touch it that I needed the tactileness of being able to put my hands in the dirt and see a return, which whether it was financial return or not is not the goal. It was, I just want to feel like I'm doing something for something bigger.
Yeah.
And that's where Backcountry Shooting Preserve pretty much was built from, was just that goal of something greater that we can do with our hands, that we can experience with other people, and get Ron
And
to come
build
down.
with the family. And
build with the family. And
bring a kid like Hunter in here. And
Yes.
I met a couple of your other friends today. And one of them's a beagler, Gary. Yeah. And you said, Gary, you can come run your dogs here, anytime. And it's like, I think he knew that, but when you said it, you could just see him go like, oh, thank you.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, yeah, I got to give you credit for what, like path choices. Like I got stuck in a path, which I would say was stuck. Like, yeah, I'm pretty good at doing what I do. And it became a chore. And at the end, at 40 years of it, I kind of wish I didn't do it, But people get stuck in it. They're like, well, I can't do anything else. And yeah, to change from what you were and what you were doing in that industry and then come out here and do this, it's pretty damn cool.
Thanks, man. And it's,
I mean, if I followed country music a lot, I'd be asking for your autograph.
oh shit, no, I wasn't that. I mean, it definitely wasn't that point.
I did have to look you up yesterday, but it's real. I
it's
saw
a
it.
real
I was
thing.
listening to his music. It's on my playlist now.
It was fun, man. I mean, again, like music was such a passion. I mean, it's still
You
a
play
passion.
as a little kid.
Yes.
like
I mean, I was a kid that locked myself in the bedroom and played guitar for 9 or 10 hours at a time.
Holy cow, your mom must have been worried about you.
Yeah, I mean, but that's just, and I'll say that when I do something, I do it whole ass, not half ass,
Yeah.
So when I was learning guitar, I just spent time at it. When I was, fortunate enough to, I played on a ton of records, master records, songs that, made it to the, released. When I had to learn how to do that, that's a skill you have to learn.
Yeah.
And I spent a lot of time with Jonathan, my friend and producer, learning how to be really good on record, not just a good guitar player. It's two different things.
Yeah.
And, songwriting, learning from guys like Jonathan and Casey Beathard and all these master songwriters, how they go into a room and 3 hours later we got something that's done, finished, and not being able to do that once or twice, do it every day.
Right.
A professional songwriter doesn't need inspiration. That's the difference between a guy like me and a guy that just writes songs. You might be able to write a good one here and there. A professional songwriter goes in every day and writes a song. 200, 250 songs a year.
That's great. That doesn't seem
But
computable in my brain.
and it didn't.
I
to
would have
me
always thought
forever.
it was like every once in a while after a bad relationship, I wrote a song.
No. My friend, there's a lady named Tia
Hey,
Sillers.
Hunter, have you had to write any songs yet from bad relationships?
No songs. No songs.
There's a lady named Tia Sillers. She wrote like "I Hope You Dance," "Blue on Black" for Kenny Wayne Shepherd, a bunch of these amazing songs. And Tia, we were talking about that exact thing, like what makes professional songwriters. She goes, "We're really good at experiencing an emotion, a breakup, a great thing, like a wedding or a." Your child being born or beer drinking time. And we've got a big wall of a cabinet with these little boxes. She's like, we can take that experience and put it in that little box and shut it. And she goes, whenever we need it, we go over there, pull it out, open it up.
So something comes
Take
in
it
her
out.
head and you're like, oh, I remember.
I remember it. And I can take it and use it and put it right back. And she's
Wow.
like, we don't have to blow our lives up with a breakup or this or that
Right.
to make an
The
amazing
song might sound like it, but
because we can pull it out of that little box and then put it up and use it again the next day.
well, I can't say that I'm sad you left the music business, but I'm glad you left the music business and put Backcountry Shooting Preserve together.
Thanks, man. And yes, it has been a ton of fun, and it's just something I'm really looking forward to sharing with more people, and whether it's somebody says, hey man, I want to come bring my dog and shoot a bunch of birds and bring my dad, or I've got corporate clients. We got tons of corporate people that say, hey, great dinner, great lunch. We want to shoot a bunch of birds and go home. We do that. If if you call me and said, "Hey, I'm coming with some corporate guys. I need fillets, lobster, the whole deal."
You'll get that ready.
We got it ready. If you said, "Hey, I want a guy to sit at the fire pit and play music at night," not me, but I know a
Wait
guy.
a minute. You are not going to play music at your own lodge?
You know, people ask me that. I've actually had this happen twice.
I would
People have asked-
imagine you should have brought a guitar in to close this episode out.
Oh God, I know.
Come on.
Ron. I haven't played guitar more than 30 seconds in years.
Oh, come on.
I'll pick it up and play and be like, "Yep, I still know how to do it." I'll put it. I still know how to do it. But you know, I've got guys that if say, "Hey, we want some entertainment," or "Hey, we're flying into Nashville," which is pretty
Yeah.
common.
Yeah.
Can you pick us up? Send a car down to get them, bring them up here, take them back to the airport.
Yeah.
Some of the country artists, you know, we can go down and get them, bring them back, kind of thing. Whatever accommodations you want, we're
Yeah.
here to tailor the experience to be the best thing you can do with your clothes on. You know.
Yeah. Well, it's one of them. It's one of them.
Well, awesome, man.
Hunter, thanks for showing up today. It gives me hope for the youth of America.
Well, thank you.
The kid never stops smiling, never stops looking in the eye. Can eat a steak like they're going to quit making them.
We got to teach you how
He
to pick
looks
them out
really
now.
good.
Next time I come down here, I got a feeling you'll have your own dog. Well, you're going to go to college, though. You going to go
Well,
local? You going
I
to go
stayed-
local?
I
Or
plan to stay local for my first 2 years at least.
All right,
Go
well
cheap
then-
as possible, you know.
you got 2 years to find.
I know.
You got a younger brother that's ready to step up?
I don't think he's ready for what I'm doing now.
Well, anyway, it's been a pleasure coming down here. I encourage anybody to look into it. Backcountry Shooting Preserve. I'll have a bunch of brochures at Pheasant Fest that he'll give me to put on the table, along with my buddy Lucas's Dakota Hunts and Labs out in South Dakota. And he kind of has a similar philosophy. I mean, although the CRP out there kind of is almost free, as opposed to starting with what you started with. But yeah, if you want some more information, look it up. I imagine you're on Instagram and everything else. But
Instagram, yep, all of it.
and I hate when people have to say .com because it's obvious, but all you got to do is type in Backcountry Shooting Preserve.
Yep,
That's it.
we'll be there.
Find all about it. All right, buddy. From Bubba and Tank and Rip and Vivi. Oh, yeah, Vivi was out today. Vivi was running with the Pro Cockers. Yeah, I'll leave you with that. Bye.